The sterile white walls of the medical bay hummed with alien technology that Adam barely understood. Holographic displays flickered with symbols from a dozen different species, none of them human. He lay on the biobed, his body broken in ways that would have killed him 3 times over by Earth standards. The mining accident on Kepler 442b had crushed his legs, punctured his lungs, and fractured his spine in 7 places. Cora entered the room with her usual efficiency, her crystalline skin refracting the soft blue light into tiny rainbows across the floor. She was a Valaxi, one of the most advanced medical species in the known galaxy. Her forearms moved with practiced precision as she checked his vitals on the hovering displays. But Adam noticed something different in her movements today. There was a tremor, almost imperceptible. "How am I looking, Doc?" Adam managed to croak, his voice barely above a whisper. Speaking hurt. Everything hurt. Cora's large, iridescent eyes turned toward him, and for the first time in the 3 weeks since the accident, she didn't answer immediately. Her primary hands continued working the console, but her secondary hands clenched into fists at her sides. "Adam," she said, her voice carrying that musical quality all Valaxi possessed, though now it wavered. "Your prognosis has not improved. Your species' resilience is remarkable. You should have died 17 days ago. But your body cannot sustain this damage indefinitely." Adam tried to smile. It probably looked more like a grimace. "That's not what I asked." Cora's hand stilled on the console. In all her 340 standard years of practicing medicine across 47 star systems, she had never lost her professional composure. She had treated species whose biology defied logic, beings who breathed methane, creatures whose life cycles spanned millennia. She had watched thousands die with the detached sadness of someone who understood mortality as an inevitable constant. But humans were different. 3 weeks ago, when they had brought Adam's broken body to her facility, she had performed the cursory scan and prepared the final comfort protocols. No species she knew could survive such catastrophic damage. His internal organs had been pulverized, his skeletal structure compromised beyond repair, and his blood loss would have killed a Valaxi in minutes. Yet Adam had opened his eyes and asked for water. She had watched in fascination as his body began to heal itself with a ferocity that seemed to defy the laws of biology. His cells regenerated at impossible rates. His immune system fought off infections that should have overwhelmed him. His pain tolerance was beyond anything documented in the galactic medical archives. "Your people call it the will to live," Cora said softly, moving closer to his bedside. "We have no equivalent concept in Valaxi. When our bodies fail, we accept it. We transition peacefully. But you humans, you fight. That's kind of our thing," Adam wheezed, attempting levity despite the agony coursing through every nerve. Cora's translator collar struggled to convey the emotion in her next words. "I have administered every treatment known to the Galactic Consortium. I have used technologies that cost more than this entire station. Your body has responded to less than 23% of them. The rest either harm you or do nothing at all. Your biology is so unique, so aggressively adaptive that our medicine is almost incompatible with you. So what you're saying is," Adam coughed, tasting copper, "I'm too human for alien medicine." "You are dying human." The words came out as barely a whisper, and then something unprecedented happened. Cora reached out with one of her crystalline hands and took Adam's mangled fingers into her own. Her people didn't engage in physical comfort. It was considered unsanitary, inefficient, a barrier to proper medical care. But as she held this fragile, impossibly resilient human's hand, she felt her ocular membranes release moisture. She was crying. "I don't understand your species," she said, her voice breaking the clinical composure she had maintained for centuries. "Your bodies are soft, vulnerable. You have no natural armor, no redundant organs, no regenerative capabilities that should allow survival. You live on a death world where everything tries to kill you, your weather, your microorganisms, your own star's radiation. By all logical analysis, humans should have never left your planet. You should have gone extinct 1,000 times over." Adam squeezed her hand weakly. "But we didn't." "No," Cora agreed, her tears falling freely now, crystallizing as they hit the floor with tiny musical sounds. "You didn't. You looked at a universe that said you were too weak, too fragile, too short-lived to matter. And you walked into the stars anyway. You colonize worlds that would kill any other species. You rebuild after disasters that would end civilizations. You laugh in the face of impossible odds. It's called stubbornness, Adam said, his breathing growing shallower. My grandmother used to say that humans are too stupid to know when to quit. Cora's 4 hands now all held different parts of Adam. His hand, his arm, his shoulder. The medical protocols screamed in her mind, telling her this was wrong, inefficient, emotionally compromising. She ignored them all. You have taught me something, Adam of Earth, she said. In all my centuries of medical practice, I had forgotten what it meant to truly fight for life. Not to simply maintain biological functions, but to rage against the dying of the light, as your poet said. Adam's eyes were beginning to close. Dylan Thomas. Good taste for an alien doctor. I downloaded your entire literary database, Cora admitted. I wanted to understand why you fight so hard, why you never give up. And Adam's voice was fading, and I think I finally understand. You humans don't fight because you believe you'll win. You fight because the fight itself is what makes you human. The struggle is the point. The defiance in the face of certain death. That is your species' greatest strength. Adam's breathing hitched, then steadied for just a moment. His eyes opened one last time, focusing on Cora's face with surprising clarity. Promise me something, Doc, he whispered. When the next human comes through your doors, broken and bleeding and statistically dead, don't give up on them. We're really good at proving statistics wrong. Cora felt her dual hearts constricting in a way she had never experienced. I promise, Adam smiled then, a real smile, and closed his eyes. But his heart kept beating, hour after hour, day after day, despite every projection, every probability, every law of medicine she knew. Adam's stubborn human heart continued its defiant rhythm. His body, broken beyond all reason, simply refused to accept death as an option. Cora stayed by his side through it all, holding his hand, witnessing humanity's greatest magic, the absolute refusal to quit. And when Adam finally opened his eyes again 4 days later, the first thing he saw was an alien nurse with crystalline tears on her face and a smile of pure wonder. Told you, he whispered hoarsely. Too stupid to know when to quit. Cora laughed through her tears, a sound of joy and disbelief and newfound respect. In that moment, she understood what the galaxy had been slow to realize. Humanity hadn't conquered the stars through superior technology or biology. They had done it through sheer, bloody-minded refusal to accept the word impossible. And that, she thought, was the most terrifying and beautiful thing in the universe.